Hey folks, welcome to part 4 of the Tableau Desktop Specialist Practice Exam Series. First question is going to be which chart types are optimal for showing trends over time in Tableau, and you can select multiple correct options here. We did go over a similar question in the last video, but again, you can select multiple options here, so let's go through the list. Is it going to be the line chart, the bar chart, the pie chart, the area chart, or the scatter plot? Which of these can you commonly use to view trends over time? So obviously, based on the last video, hopefully if you've watched it, line chart is definitely going to be one of those charts, and here's why. So anytime you want to look at anything over time, a time series or a line chart is typically the best way to look at it. So if you have a field such as order date, and then let's say you want to see profit over a period of time. So I can click on this line chart over here, and that's going to generate a line chart. Now I can clearly see over time how this is trending, and of course I do have a hierarchy because we are working with a date, so you can kind of go as granular as you like, but for purposes of this I'm just going to leave it at the yearly level. So again, line chart is definitely one of the correct options. How about bar chart? Again, bar chart is a good way to look at things side by side, specifically dimensions if you were maybe wanting to look at year 1 versus year 2. But in terms of looking at something over a period of time, it's not so ideal, so it's not going to be bar chart. Next option is pie chart. Same thing here with a pie chart. Everything has its own pros and cons and why you would want to use something. With something like a pie chart over here, really just looking at parts of a whole. So here you would really just be able to maybe compare different categories of sale, or in this case, profit amongst the different years, kind of to give you a bigger picture, a broader sense of how each of those years or whatever dimension you're looking at is performing. So again, for this, pie chart is not going to be the correct solution. Next option is area chart. So let's go back here. Since we did have a line chart, I'm going to work with that. So we have a line chart here, and if I wanted to create an area chart, I can click on area chart. And again, it's very similar to the line chart, but now all of this area is sort of filled in. And where you really get value out of it, right? When it comes to why would I want an area chart over a line chart? What makes them different? Well, the ability to kind of be able to break this visualization down into different buckets or dimensions, that's what makes it powerful. So for example, if I drag a category to color, that's going to now split this area graph into these different areas representing the exact categories. Why it's powerful is now you have this kind of visualization over time where you can see the overall trend in a consolidated way. But then you could also see where, for instance, we're looking at furniture here, the blue mark over here. For 2020, the profit was 3280, and over here you kind of see like the area gets a little bit bigger or fatter. And that's because the profit was much higher in 2021. And that's really what differentiates the area chart from the line chart. Being able to really kind of see the difference over time within a particular dimension. If you were to switch this back to a line chart, yes, you would still have these different, categories or different lines appearing, but it's not as obvious in terms of, 2020 was not performing as well as 2021. That's when an area chart would, become useful. But again, for purposes of this question, area chart is also going to be one of the correct options here as far as showing trends over time. Last option is scatter plot. Scatter plot you typically really would just use to compare one measure to another measure and kind of see if there's any sort of relationship, maybe like a correlation, that sort of thing. Not really useful for seeing things over time in the grand scheme of things. So the only two viable solutions here are going to be the line chart and area chart. By the way, if you do enjoy videos like this, consider liking the video and subscribing for more content just like this. Next question, true or false, Tableau Desktop allows users to create custom geographic regions. So within Tableau Desktop, can you go and just kind of create your own geographic regions? True or false? Well, for this, I'm going to actually refer to the Tableau documentation, which I have open here. And this one specifically talks about building your own custom territories in Tableau 10 and beyond. And long story short, the gist of it is because territories, typically are assigned at a zip code level, right? So each particular zip code would be assigned to a territory of your choosing. With that mapping, you can then go ahead and, as you could see in this visualization that someone else, put together in this Tableau blog, you can go and create your own territory based on that mapping. So yes, you can in fact create your own regions within Tableau. So the idea that, Tableau Desktop allows users to create custom geographic regions, that is completely true. Next question. What are the primary benefits of using data extracts in Tableau? And you can select multiple correct options here. We've, covered this in the past, so hopefully you should know the answer. Once again, I'll refer to the Tableau documentation for this. So here's some of the benefits, right? Why would you use an extract over a live connection? Well, first of all, handling large data sets, right? With extracts, you can handle massive amounts of data. One of the reasons why is because of the improved performance, right? A lot of this, using an extract, a lot of those queries are more performance oriented. They're more optimized, a lot more beneficial than a live connection. In addition, you do have some enhanced functionality, such as the option to use count distinct. So what this means is with a live connection, you cannot use count distinct, right? The count D function, if you will. And then the final option, offline data access. So again, you can be completely off the network as long as you have a Tableau workbook that has an extract. So essentially something like a .twbx file, that's actually going to allow you to work with the visualization and work with Tableau without even being connected to the internet, because all of that data is now local. It's all saved locally within that workbook. And that's what makes extracts very unique. So again, just going down this list, faster load times, yes, absolutely. Because every time you switch between those different views, you no longer have to tap into a live SQL query every single time. That's gonna, it's not very performance friendly to do that in the first place, and it's gonna take a long time to load. So definitely first option is going to be correct. Second option, does it give you offline data access? Yes, we just covered that. So unlike a live connection, with an extract, that data is saved locally. So you do have offline data access. Third option, real-time updates. No, for that you would use a live connection. So the whole purpose of the extract is to be more performance friendly, and as a byproduct of that, you don't have, fresh data or real-time updates. So the third option is actually not correct. Fourth option, enhanced security. Well, data extracts don't really necessarily have anything to do with security. They're not really designed to improve or make security deficient in any means. So that's not going to be one of the correct solutions. Last option, ability to use count D. Again, that is the function for count distinct. So again, it's going to be the first, second, and last option for this question. Next question, what functionality does Tableau Server provide for collaborating on visualization? So again, the whole purpose of Tableau Server is you can publish a dashboard there, and then other authors, the viewership side of it, someone who's actually consuming it, or whether you work with other Tableau developers who are all, kind of collaborating in a sense to make updates to the same workbook. There are a number of different functionalities available as a result of that, right? So here's some of the options, and you can select multiple correct options here. Is it going to be comments, sharing links, version history, data-driven alerts, or subscribing to views? So again, we're going to reference the Tableau documentation, because again, that Tableau Desktop Specialist exam, that's going to be based on pretty much solely the Tableau documentation. That's why it's important to keep referring to it and visiting all these different topic areas. But in a nutshell, here's some of the things that Tableau Server allows you to do. Sharing and collaborating on the web. Specifically, you can share the web content, right? If you have a link, you could maybe put it in an iframe or bookmark it and send it to someone. And as long as they have access to the Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud, whatever you're using, you should be, they should be able to access that content. You can subscribe to different views, right? You can have email send out with attachments, without attachments, whether it's an image or a PDF, you can certainly do that. You can actually send data-driven alerts. So you can have your workbook or a particular visualization set up in a way that it could send subscriptions based on a condition. And so it's actually very useful for any kind of data-driven alerts that you want to set up. You can certainly have someone comment on the views. Again, you can embed the views and metrics. the list goes on and on. So link to PNG, PDF, or CSV. You can download the views or workbook. So you can actually, download the workbook. If you don't want to edit it online, you can download it, open it up locally, make updates, republish, what have you. And then use the Tableau app for Slack. So again, the list goes on and on depending on the version. And I'm sure sometime in the future, there's going to be a lot more updates. So all the different features. So as it pertains to this question, right? What functionality does Tableau Server bring? Can you make comments? Yes. Can you share links? Yes. Version history, we didn't cover that, but yes, when you have like Tableau Cloud or Tableau Server, there's like an ellipsis on the top right of your workbook where you can actually go and look at previous versions, and if you wanted to, you could revert back to a certain version. It'll tell you exactly when that was published, who the author was. So it's very neat that you can kind of go back and revert any changes in the event that you notice a mistake was made or whatever the reason might be. So again, the third option is also correct. Fourth option, data-driven alerts. Yep, we just covered that. That's also a benefit. And then lastly, subscribing to views. Again, you can email this to go out on a recurring basis. So really all 5 of these are going to be correct. This is all of the added functionality that you get. Next question, true or false, Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud is required to publish and share dashboards with others. So yes, let's go back to another example from the Tableau documentation. So it says simple steps to publish a workbook. And you will find here that it says you can publish it to Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud with a few simple clicks. Long story short, you can have Tableau Desktop, which is an application that you have installed locally on your machine, whether it's a Windows laptop, MacBook, whatever. But if you wanted to share that in an environment where other people can access whatever you've built, it does have to be on a server. It doesn't matter if it's Tableau Public, because at the end of the day, that's also a Tableau server. It doesn't matter if it's a Tableau private server or Tableau Cloud, sometimes also known as Tableau Online. But it does have to be hosted somewhere in some kind of shape or form, whether it's Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud. So going back to this question, Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud is required to publish and share dashboards with others. This is going to be true. There's no way around it. If you build a dashboard locally, you can save it as a .twbx. But if you wanted to share it with others, you do have to post it somewhere for others to be able to view and interact with it. So that's going to be the solution here. Quick pause. If you like these videos, but you're serious about acing the Tableau Desktop Specialist Practice Exam or Certification, I've got news for you. Check out the link in the description if you're interested in practicing with an even more realistic set of practice exam questions. There are at least 5 different practice exams, 45 questions each, with the proper distribution of exam topic areas. You'll know exactly which questions you got right or wrong and what the correct solutions were. Now, there are a limited number of spots available, so be sure to take advantage of the limited time offer because, as you know, practice makes perfect. And that's a wrap. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, as always, I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.